In the last episode, we learned that we can categorize theater as a performing art by virtue of its main art object, or artifact. Like other performing arts, such as music and dance, theater's main art object exists in space only for the moment that it is created. The artifact that is at the core of a performing art is defined as an object. However, in art, the object can be intangible. This may appeal to the imaginative mind, but it can make identifying the art object challenging. We have said that physical movement is the main art object of dance. The sound created by music can't be seen, only experienced. But what is the main art object in theater? We have noted that the work of the playwright is often the starting point of theater. But theater is often created without the efforts of the playwright. Theater artists can tell you that improvisation is the creation of theater without scripts. We often associate the work of the designers whose efforts result in the play's set, lighting, and costumes as central to the creation of a play production. However, these are not required in order to engage in the art of theater. Now, you've probably already come to the conclusion that theater's artifact resides in the actor, and you'd be right. The efforts of the playwright, director, and designers are all focused on supporting the actor. But the actor is the artist, not the object. The object is what the actor performs. This is the ephemeral artifact that is the basis of theater. We can refer to the main art object of theater as dramatic action. To understand theater's main art object, we will need to rethink the meanings of both the words dramatic and action. Moreover, we will need to reconsider how both words work together to create theater's main art object. We often think of dramatic in a pejorative sense. We dislike it when someone is being dramatic. The word dramatic also carries with it a sense of seriousness. Often, we think of comedic as being the opposite of dramatic. The masks that symbolize theater reinforce this grave connotation of the word drama. However, when we speak of dramatic action as theater's main art object, it applies to comedy and satire as well as serious drama and tragedy. From its earliest usage in the 2nd century BC, in Aristotle's treatise on poetry and drama, Poetics, drama meant literally to do or to take action. The very core of theater is answering the question, what is being done? When we hear the word action, we think of movement. An action movie engages in chase scenes and fight choreography, filled with breakneck movement and physical activity. Dramatic action very often does employ an abundance of physical action. However, dramatic action could involve no physical activity at all. Imagine the curtains opening on the stage. We view a man simply sitting on a bench. There is no physical action, but this event, which embodies the absence of physical movement, has the potential for significant dramatic action. The creation of dramatic action for the theater relies on several dynamics. Let's continue by considering some of the general characteristics of dramatic action. In Poetics, Aristotle began his definition of tragedy, the earliest form of theater, as an imitation of an action. We can take this to mean that theater is, by its very nature, a fiction. The word fiction is another word that often carries with it a negative connotation, as if to insinuate that something is false. In art, fiction is a dynamic that gives power to the artifact. Let's consider how this functions. One of the powerful aspects of theater is its ability to create an illusion of reality. This, in close association with its ephemeral nature, makes theater the art form that most closely resembles life. However, being an art, the object is artificial. The action we view in theater is a fiction. The fiction, created in theater, provides the audience with a certain distance from what is viewed, both physically and psychologically. The term used to identify this dynamic is referred to as aesthetic distance. The way that aesthetic distance is achieved in theater can be identified by Samuel Taylor Coleridge's term, the willing suspension of disbelief. This refers to an audience's implied agreement with the play to accept the fiction that they are viewing as reality while they are watching it. This tacit agreement allows the audience to become emotionally invested in events that they know are not really happening. Both the audience and the artist are engaged in an honest deception. You've experienced this dynamic yourself. While watching a play or a movie, you often view the action, which you know is being reenacted by an actor, and become emotionally moved. At other times, you fear for outcomes that you know are scripted. You've even had these fictions influence your lives as well. The life-changing effects that such fictions can have on you are the result of what Aristotle referred to as catharsis. The aesthetic distance provided by the willing suspension of disbelief allows theater to reveal truth within a fiction. It allows the illusion of reality to reveal truths that reality itself is unable to provide. When we are involved in human interaction, we lack the psychological distance to fully understand the truth that is entailed in the event. We need to step back and consider the event objectively. The truth eludes us as a direct result of our personal involvement. We need distance to grasp the truth of what it means to be a human being. Theater presents us with a fiction within the dynamic of the illusion of reality to provide such distance. We see fictional characters with whom we identify going through situations similar to ours. Or perhaps they live out situations that we fear. We are satisfied when justice is meted out. We laugh when we see characters engaging in our follies or the follies we see in others. We grieve for characters who meet with a tragic end. These fictions allow us to have a glimpse at the truth. We experience catharsis. So you see, the power of dramatic action lies in its artifice, its ability to reveal the truth within a fiction. In the next episode of Theater, Storytelling in Action, we will take a look at the nuts and bolts of dramatic action. How does a playwright create a blueprint for dramatic action? How does an actor decipher this blueprint to create a powerful illusion of reality? Our next episode will put us on a path to answering these questions. We'll see you on the other side.